Hello? Wow, people showed up really quickly, huh? Greetings.
Tại sao phán cái này đặt ra thành tình huống nhận định là như vậy, chứ đừng có nhận định là yếu hoặc là nghi ngờ nó không ra được vấn đề đâu. Đó là có những yếu tố mà bắt nó cái là trong cái nước thì bắt thành mỹ để làm phán mà thế thì bây giờ thế thì bây giờ tại sao phải thành thứ nhất bây giờ tại sao phải Israel làm phán đưa cái này để dòng được làm phán mày để bắn từ lửa vào thằng cái giả này.
Honey, you have the Wi-Fi on there?
Rõ ràng nó phải lo vì nó ký với Mỹ chứ nó có ký là con Thái mình chẳng nó phải cái công lý của nó đất này bạn này ký với Mỹ tao có thể tao cái của lại của mình cái các bạn rồi các số các bạn là có cái chuyện gọi là cái chuyện Israel ở đây cũng có liên quan đến cháo này thôi thì nó tụ trong Mỹ nó chẳng như nó bảo cái chuyện của là có quyền tái thành như là cái chuyện đó là ngăn cản Iran sẽ phải tao tấn công thằng Iran tao biết là
Yeah, praise Buddha. Praise the Dharma. Praise the Sangha. Praise the way of ending suffering.
mày pháo lên cái đánh là có thái đó có nhiều năm đã gặp phải bây giờ thấy yếu muốn đàm phán bây giờ ý cho nó nếu mà em gọi điện không tích của chúng ta nghĩ thì nó không có anh nước không anh tự nhiên tất nhiên nó chúng ta không quan không quan gì đối tác là người ta cho nên bây giờ nhưng mà không có mà không phải đầu tiên thì chúng ta nói làm sao đấy đang do nó không dư dần lại thì phải một trước mình bỏ sau ký đúng về ký đảm bảo lên thôi bây giờ mày mở em bị mong muốn bên nhóm này thường sẽ chọn là ai phải là những sản phẩm nhưng không có chọn chứ bắt luôn thì ký chứ đúng là tôi đi làm phán thì nói là phải là nuôi đâu nuôi cái là yếu cái nào muốn nhưng mà mình nói chuyện là yếu hay không cái gì đấy là cái cuộc sống một ai cũng bảo là đấy là năm đấy là mình biết năm
So we can start with a song, right? Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free.
Quảng Trị phải nói như này B52 nó bị sang phòng Hà Nội không nghĩ thế hồi trở lại hồi lại đánh nhau thêm rơi vào bản nó thải vậy với đây cảm ơn chú bạn thích của thằng Mỹ ở đây với thằng Nội nó cũng vợ xong cả cái này gì đâu quan trọng là cái thằng nó thải như cái dân tôi thì cái đó mình phải xác định cho em thứ hai nữa là bây giờ cái thằng nó thứ hai nữa là vấn đề bây giờ nếu mà
The record of Shakyamuni Buddha from the transmission of light, also known as the transmission of the lamp. Shakyamuni Buddha realized enlightenment on seeing the morning star. He said, I and all beings on earth together attain enlightenment at the same time. Shakyamuni left his palace one night when he was 19 years old and shaved off his hair. After that, he spent 6 years practicing ascetic exercises. Subsequently, he sat on an indestructible seat, so immobile that there were cobwebs in his brows, a bird's nest on his head, and reeds growing up through his mat. Thus he sat for 6 years. In the 13th year, on the eligibility day of the 12th month, he was suddenly enlightened when the morning star appeared. Then he spoke the foregoing words, his first flying rule. After that, he spent 49 years helping others by teaching, never staying in seclusion. With just one robe and one bowl, he lacked nothing. He taught at over 360 assemblies, and then finally entrusted the treasury of the Eye of Truth to Kashyapa, and its transmission has continued to the present. Indeed, this is the root of the transmission and practice of the true teaching in India, China, and Japan. New shop, new cappuccino, so we can have a try of this. You cold? Want to try? Sit over there. Try, see. Want to turn off? What is for them? What do you buy to eat? What snack you buy? What bread you buy? What nice treat you buy? Like the biscuit or the croissant? Which one you buy? Okay, cheers. Cheers to our new life. Okay. Yeah. Not sweet? Yeah, try coffee cracker. I've been having
vì nó có nguyên năng mình chọn được, tuy nhiên lúc mà nó không có quyền đó là biết khi là đọc làm nhóm rồi
$100 and I'll do it. You're trying to be good in front of your parents? Oh wow, she cracked it. She cracked it. Here, give it to me, honey. I do it. Give to me. I do. I'm gonna need the tool. Yeah, I'm gonna need the spoon, honey. Oh, I open it. I open it with my power. No, no, no. I can do it. Not wet, just a little bit. Yeah, you drink it. Here, take this. Good. Very good. All right, cheers, Seraph.
nó xin là từ khi ảnh nhiều bắt đầu xong rồi vẽ xong rồi nó bị bắt đúng rồi
I think we go sit over there, honey. Yeah, we move there. We go there.
nếu được sửa còn đây ta không được xong rồi thật nếu sửa được đâu đúng rồi rồi vừa có nhiều nhưng vừa có ba trong là nước sạch để uống thôi rồi những khi mà người ta có em dùng sữa không biết là
There, that one. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go. Purpose of life is to give. And I'll explain to you why.
Blessings basically is doing something good for others. It's very simple. We need to teach the most important thing in life is not become a president. It's not become rich. Make a living with yourself, take care of yourself, have a good life and so forth. But the main purpose is to help benefit others. Don't ever forget that. Then you'll be okay. We only taught to study, become smart, get good grades, get some prizes and so forth. It's always external things, and they are really not that important after all. They won't make us happy. And we never taught the fundamentals in purpose of life is to find meaning in helping others. Blessings basically is cô này có bị sợ thật không? Cái đó là bốn. Câu thứ hai có bị sợ chưa không? Giống nhớ hai bàn tay nó giống rõ cái chứ bên này có bị bên này chưa có bị sợ. Bên kia là xong đó bên này em một bên này em một cái không xong cái tổng của bên này nó giống không biết tại sao bên này không xong thì bên kia nó lên rồi không giống ai hiểu chưa cảm thấy hết chưa không đi một cái đâu đến khi đó cái học của hai người không không về không được không được chỉ vẽ chứ không phải là không phải trước vẽ lại không không được tiếng tiếng được không phải không có phải đúng rồi chứ bây giờ là một có một bài đánh này là cái cách còn mình quên những cái này là có ai được có ai được có ai được kia là sự ai lại và nhắc trước còn bạn đi gì cũng được chúng ta không đi được nó đi không có ai được cô nói lo ra khỏi rồi em ai ai sao cái em đi vô đó em đi vô là đúng như cuối cùng có câu nó có hai từ ở đây thì có chính thì chúng tôi có nói chuyện còn với đâu con đang là quay video là đúng rồi đó tuy nhiên động từ còn lại đi chưa có đúng em có làm gì rồi đúng rồi em đây
So if somebody as crazy as me can meditate, And you definitely can too. Meditation is not sleeping, right? Sitting upright, I'm aware, focusing on my breathing. I'm watching my mind very closely, very carefully, very intimate with the mind. So I'm not sleeping when I'm closing my eyes. I'm actually more awake, more aware, looking deeply into the mind. Oh, thank you, Dream. I didn't see that. Thank you for the donation, Dream.
nó coi như thành công để làm gì từ
Meditation doesn't need to be done in any particular place or any particular time. We can practice meditation anywhere. It's a way of going into our own minds. So it's not about what other people think. It's not about how we think about what's happening now. As long as your mind is here, as long as your body is here, as long as you're awake, then you can meditate.
tuy nhiên nếu đến một phần không có được sai ra khi nào cái này cái này trong cái đường ba bốn tuần thì mình biết thôi còn thường nó trong hai cái tuần mà không ngon ra tất cả đi đến thành công sau khi mình đi đi đến một điểm nào đó đi đi kiếm con ghét đi kiếm su theo đồ su biết không có gì biết nó luôn biết thành nội luôn còn con su mà qua đi tại sao nó như thế.
Remember, meditation is not dreaming, it's being more aware, more wakeful. So we don't close our eyes so that we can dream. We close our eyes to reduce all of the extra stimulation, all of the extra content, and then we can just focus on the mind itself, our mind itself, our experience itself, moment by moment. Because there can be so many distractions out there. 12 o'clock.
Có nghĩa là chỉ cái Hà Tĩnh với cái kho đi luôn cái mình xem con nước sách gì nè thì đang là tôi một tuần ha cái quân thì ra hai tuần không có cái mình
A little bit is okay. We can help with a little bit. Just a little bit of meditation can be helpful. Qing Yuan. Qing Yuan went to study with the Zen master Huineng and asked, What work is to be done so as not to fall into stages? The Zen master inquired, "What have you done?" Xing Quan said, "I do not even practice the holy truths." The Zen master said, "What stage do you fall into?" Xing Quan said, "If I do not even practice the holy truths, what stages are there?" The Zen master recognized his profound capacity. Qing Wan became a monk as a boy and used to keep silent during discussions of the way. Subsequently, he heard of the teaching of Zen master Huineng and went there to study. He asked what is to be done so as not to fall into stages, and the Zen master recognized his profound capacity. Although Huineng had many disciples, Yang was the foremost. It was the same as when Bodhidharma said that Huike had attained his marrow, even though Huike said nothing in response to a question about what he had realized. There's no need to ask questions about your own mind. Just remember, people are committing suicide every day. A lot of people. Just being more willing to accept this fundamental suffering, this unsatisfactoriness. And that's what meditation is: to accept, to embrace, to feel that suffering instead of just distracting yourself. Yeah, unsatisfactoriness. Not being satisfied, feeling like there's something more, there's something else, that there's something lacking. Yeah, well, that's a very important element of what meditation is, Zaman trading, endurance of suffering, whatever that suffering is. That's what the meditation retreats are. You sit still, you focus on your breathing, and you suffer, and you endure it, and you stay close to it. And when you do that, life is more likely to be better, more manageable. Persistence in embracing unsatisfactoriness. But that unsatisfactoriness is very, very deep. It's not like you embrace that for a while and then it kind of goes away, or you figure something out and then the situation is solved or something like that. That unsatisfactoriness is reality, that life is unsatisfactoriness. Life is suffering, basically. And learning how to embrace that and to be with that and to endure that is how we learn how to turn that suffering into happiness, or we learn how to make good use of that suffering instead of just dwelling in it. Well, you can sit there and you can embrace your mind. You can sit there and you can look at your mind, this mind that you're trying to run away from, this mind that you're trying to avoid, trying to get away from suffering, and take a moment to stop and actually be with that and face that and experience that, you know, eat the shit. There's the Buddhist saying, no mud, no lotus. So the mud is there, but you're not embracing it. You're not facing it. So you're not making use of it. You're not learning how to make use of that suffering. So that's where the problem is. Sure. That's a good way to say it. Optimistic resignation. And it can just be for a moment. It doesn't mean that you have to make your life about meditation, but just a moment of sitting up or standing up or walking and being willing to face that mind, that suffering, that reality that you're trying to avoid is very powerful. And it's not necessarily about being magically, everything being fine and great and perfect, because life is unsatisfactory. Life is suffering. So it's not meditating to get rid of the suffering. It's more like meditation to be more clearly with the suffering. Yeah, and learning how to break through the contradictions, learning how to turn negativity into positivity. And breaking through or breaking out of or letting go of that mindset that there is going to be some way to get what you want and to avoid what you don't want, that's basically where the wisdom is, the compassion is. Like holding on to non practical ideas about other people, holding on to non practical ideas about yourself. The more that you can let go of ideas about yourself, the more that you can be yourself together with everything, with anything, and not just continuously falling into this self repetition, this story making. If you're a really good story writer, then write a novel, write a book, make a bunch of money. Sure, Eckhart Tolle can be very useful. Hopefully, Rebel Duster's been with Eckhart Tolle. I don't know. Because this idealism we have about life being or going a certain way, life just doesn't work like that. Those ideas are about the body. Those ideas are about the mental experiences that directly relate to the body that we call our ego. So even these guys, looks maxers or influencers or celebrities or whatever, get wealthy, get fit, get healthy, get a wonderful life in Bali, go and get a villa in Bali. These guys, these gals, these people, even as ideal as their lives might be able to seem to become, they're still subject to old age, to death, to sickness. But they're kind of avoiding that, and it makes them not wise and also not truly compassionate. Well, in a space like this, there's a lot of comments that are off topic. It's like when white people go up, not now, but back in the 40s or 30s or whatever, into schools that are being desegregated and scream the N-word. You know, you tell those people you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that here. It's not that complicated. It's not that ridiculous or crazy. Free speech has limits. Ah, 100%. That was then, this is now. Here's my shotgun. Here's my brow. Watch what you say, because this one's loaded with compassion and peace. Yeah, but that's what I was talking about, Pidgeotto, is even those people that fall into those situations where they seem to, maybe they were like you, they wanted to build wealth and now they've built wealth. those people are still in the basic situation that you are in. You're subject to sickness, old age, death. Whatever you get is subject to impermanence. So there's a wisdom in seeing the emptiness of getting what you want. And that gives us this freedom to be free from seeking after something. Then we can go more into an appreciation of what we already have and then actually penetrate into what we already have or what's being experienced right now. That helps us be more compassionate and more wise when it comes to making the best use of what we already have now, rather than feeling more miserable because we don't have what we want to have. Then we go into these very deep cycles of depression and anxiety and self doubt and self hate and all those things. That's not necessary. It might seem necessary when we're comparing ourselves to other people, but when we understand that those people are also subject to the suffering, the difficulties that we're subject to, it doesn't make so much sense to create this narrative of self hate about the limitations of being a human being. Because all these people are human beings. Their health, their wealth is temporary, just like our sickness or our poverty is temporary. Some things in life can't be fixed. Sometimes you get sick, or at least it can't be fixed now. You might be really fat or something like that. And you're depressed and you're anxious because you can't go for a walk without feeling tired and feeling suffering. Well, that's going to keep you from doing the things that are going to help you not be fat and tired and suffering. So don't add more problems to a problem that's already there. That's why when we turn our mind around, when we meditate, when we look at the suffering, we actually learn how to transform that suffering, because what we really want is not to suffer, not to be depressed or anxious, but we may have to use that suffering, that depression, to get out of it, to be free from it. But if we're not willing to use what we already have, then what are we going to use? Something in the future, some imagination of the future. So we have to use what we already have here and now. And even if we can't totally do that, right? Even if we can't totally be content and easily satisfied, we can at least appreciate the value of that, of being content with what we already have now, being easily satisfied with what we already have now. And that can help us to be more relaxed, more peaceful, more appreciative of the way that it already is, which is the way that it is now. So we can't change that. We can make use of the way that it is now in a way that might change it in a particular way, but we can't change the way that it is now. That's the nature of the way that it is now. So look into that, experience that more fully. Don't be afraid of yourself. Don't keep distracting yourself from experiencing what is happening now.
And it's not about what other people think, what other people feel, what other people think. You can't, that's not you. So you can whine about that, you can complain about that, you can try to argue with the whole world to be the way that you want them to be. Yeah. Come on. Come on. I need a buck. I need a buck. He says my nails are beautiful. He likes. So actually, one of the reasons that we suffer so much and we have so much depression and bad experience in our life is because we don't have more access to helping others, sharing with others. I think he wants my phone. He wants me to give him my phone. Okay, okay, good, 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 good. Uh. And then because and then because people are so don't have access to being helped as well, they're desperate. You know, people feel this desperation for wanting so much because they don't have access to what they already have. He says I have two phones so I can give him one. I have two phones so I can give him one. Yeah. Here, here, here. And then we're overwhelmed by this need, but we're also overwhelmed by our own need. Here, you can speak into this and it will translate it into my language.
Bạn có thể nói vào đây và nó sẽ dịch sang ngôn ngữ của tôi.
You speak into this and it will translate your language into my language.
Bạn nói vào thiết bị này và nó sẽ dịch ngôn ngữ của bạn sang ngôn ngữ của tôi.
Wait. Here, here. No. But he nice man. Yeah. You can give him a hug, give him something, right? Here, this one. Here. Okay, bye. Run away from you. Oh, he give for me. Back massage. Guante Guante He says he not have a phone. Yeah. Right, and then the idea is that, like either I'm a scumbag for interacting with this person because I'm just doing it for views or something like that. So I'm exploiting this person, or this person is a crazy person, so no one should interact with them. It's like we're not allowed to be human beings anymore. We have to follow like a very particular phenotype or archetype of selfishness to be recognized as being human, and that's just ridiculous. Like whoever this guy is, we can be kind. What I'm supposed to see this guy as some kind of freak or some kind of monster because he's because whatever, or I'm some kind of freak or monster because I'm interacting with this guy in a way that's not treating him like we're totally different or something. He still says I should give him my phone because I have two phones and he only has one phone. Hello, who's there? Is this the troll army? Hey, camera here. Picture together. Here, video together. Here. Chúc mừng nhà mới. Ai Di Đà Phật. Nam mô Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. He says, I have two phones. It's almost like we need to be more fake and produced and directed and contrived to be seen as being real. And the more real we are, the more we open ourselves up for exploitation. Oh, yeah. And like the more fake someone is, the less vulnerable they are. The more real someone is, the more vulnerable they are. So we try to fuck around. That's where I think the whole energy of trolling comes from, is just the balance of being real or fake being turned on its head. Like because I put myself out there and because I just sit and I'm not trying to present myself in a certain way, that somehow I'm fake or whatever. I need to be taken advantage of, or I'm trying to take advantage of other people because I'm not producing myself and I'm making myself accessible. I like to be with other people, I like to connect with people. I like to talk about the things that are meaningful for me. Maybe I like to get a little bit crazy and a little bit wild. Yeah, a lot of people are begging for help. Just because someone is begging, that doesn't mean something in particular. I mean, people all over the world are begging for help. They're begging for clean water. They're begging for jobs. They're begging for community. They're begging for money to take care of their lives. And if society was better off and more economical and community based and people just could have their basic needs met, then there wouldn't be the need for begging. Not just material. He's still joking about me giving him my second phone. Well, yeah, of course, Dave. That's a joke. Why would me smashing my own phone, unless someone donates, make any sense? It's a joke. It's like saying I'll burn $100 if someone doesn't give me $100. I mean, what are we talking about here? It's not quite a joke. You can't just put it right into the theme of being a joke, I guess. It's a little bit more subtle than that. Maybe not totally easy to explain. No, the joke is the premise of breaking my own phone unless somebody donates $100. How absurd that is. My phone costs more than $100. So that wouldn't be a very economical decision to make, right? It's kind of like the joke of a backwards economy, which is the economy we have today, where actual value is destroyed so that people can have more privatized value. So I'll destroy my clothes and my designer shoes. You know, the companies, they'll destroy their spring clothes line, and instead of just giving it away, they'll destroy it so that their winter clothes line has more scarcity and has more value. Yeah, it's not if it's right, it's just your own mind. Here, Hung's here.
I'm girl.
Say hello to him, Hung. Ask him what his name is.
Ở chú ở đâu chứ? Ở chú tên gì?
People don't really steal in Vietnam. It's not that common. Name Ham.
Nam.
Nam. Vietnam. Name Nam. Vietnam. Right? I'm not a horrible person or a great person. It's just your mind. And I guess I spent 7 years, 8 years presenting myself as a great person, and maybe I wanted to try out being a horrible person. Come on. He's still making the joke about the phone. This is my kind of guy. Two, me two, you zero. Huh? And then like we're sitting here playing together and joking together, and then the moment that I make a joke or that I mess around, now I'm like trying to abuse that person, or I'm exploiting them, manipulating them. Like I have this evilish intent. I don't know. Maybe it's just friendly, spending time together, being together. You know, that is a good idea as well. That's a good idea to do this. It's the same when, like, you know, we have the First Amendment right in the US. So there's all these First Amendment auditors. Some are a little bit more crazy, some are less crazy, some are funny. And they go to like the post office or they go to like the city council chamber. and they just go there and film. And, people call the police. They say, I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, he has a First Amendment right, and this is a public area, and he has a right to do this, but I'm uncomfortable. So what if you're uncomfortable? I need to call the police because I'm uncomfortable. This person needs to be arrested because I'm uncomfortable. This person needs to be stopped because I'm uncomfortable or because I don't understand what's going on. So the fuck what? You don't have a right. There's no right in the Constitution to understand what's going on, to understand who somebody is. That's not real. It's just your ego. You're on the bike right now. You're mounted to the bike right now. You have your It's no special idea. It just is what it is. The idea is in your mind. What's the idea? This is it. What's the idea? There's no idea behind it. I just thought I never got my nails done before. So I thought, well, I'll get my nails done. I'll check it out. I'll experience it. It's just your mind. What's the idea behind what I'm doing here, what we're doing here? There's no idea behind it. This is just doing. This is just doing only, experiencing only. What's the big idea? Who says there needs to be a big idea? Yeah, life can be toxic as hell. It doesn't mean we need to make it more toxic or that it's a good idea to make it more toxic. Just because everybody else around you is pooping in their pants, it doesn't mean that that's a good reason for you to poop in your pants. It's probably not. Probably not a good idea, even if everybody else around you is doing it. I have no idea who this guy is. Just met him when I came out for a cigarette. I offered him a massage and now he's massaging me. The smile isn't real or fake. It's your mind that's real or fake. So, like when I see all those Bali influencers trying to sell their courses and their classes, showing off their six pack abs and smiling next to the water, for me, that's coming from a fake mind or a mind just trying to advertise themselves to get money. If I'm just smiling right now, I'm just smiling, exercising my smiling muscles. Namo Vayida Fuck. Namo Vayida Fuck. Namo Vayida Fuck. Namo Vayida Fuck. That's a Buddhist chant for the Buddha of infinite life, the Bodhisattva of infinite life, Bodhidharma. This is what it is. You know, another reason why people get so involved in trolling and negativity and just weird, like, ego, grasping onto other egos, because they're not busy living a meaningful life. There's a hunger as a human being. There's a drive for being in relationship with other people. There's a drive for having relevance in community. There's a drive for having an impact in community. And when we don't have access to that, we try to find a way to do that. And when it doesn't seem like there's a positive way for us to do that, we do that in a negative way. To bring importance, to bring value, to bring reality to our ego in a social setting, in a social environment. Yeah, but that's just an idea, Native. That's just an opinion. That's just your idea. The only way that it would absolutely be that way is if you were God, or if you had all the information and all the variables. That's just an idea that you have. It's just an opinion that you have. You have a right to have an opinion. I'm just saying that's just an opinion that you have. The same for anybody. They think this is a great thing. That's just their opinion about it. That's also just an opinion that you have. It's like if you had a Chinese person and another Chinese person and an English person, and one person was speaking Chinese and you said, "You're just rambling garbage." The other person would say, "No, they're speaking Chinese." I don't know, maybe in this analogy you didn't know what Chinese was. That's just another opinion. That's just an idea that you have, that I act like I know everything. That's it. I'm not saying it's more true or less true, or that you don't have a right to have that opinion. I'm just saying that's just an opinion that you have. And the same goes for anybody. So even if you don't, like, you're not serious about holding on to that opinion and you understand what I'm saying, there's a lot of people who have to constantly be reminded about that their opinion is not reality. It's just their opinion. That's all. And good, good for you that you can have an opinion or whatever. And then people understand what's being said, but they choose to be disingenuous and ridiculous, to be aggressive or to whatever, to do something with their ego, or to, like, do something socially or do something to my ego. Well, that's fine. You can do that too. But also this other thing, that this is not all about you in the same way that it's not all about me. So it's a communal space. It's a communal gathering. It's a communal situation. $64. Yeah, 64 people watching. Yeah, but you being annoyed is not anybody else's problem. So you trying to make a big deal out of you being annoyed is just kind of ridiculous, especially when you're not a part of the community. Like, people don't know who you are. There's not really any context for the way that you feel to be important in this environment. But yeah, I mean, if I annoy somebody, I guess that I'm going to deal with that karma inside of myself, right? I don't know if he's mute or whatever. Maybe he's just not a big talker. Yeah, everybody's annoyed, man. Life is annoying. The world these days is annoying. So just because you're annoyed, don't make that big of a deal out of it. Well, the community here is just the general group of people here that kind of know each other and are under the banner of the host of the community or the host of the meeting or the host of the situation. So like as the host, I could turn off the live stream. You couldn't turn off this live stream because you're a guest here. You're a viewer, whereas I'm like the performer. Right? So this is like a host and guest. Like you can't kick somebody out of their own house. Or you can't like you can't close somebody else's shop. It's up to them when the shop is open and when it's closed. Now you could get an idea in your mind of like entrapping someone or, enslaving someone or torturing someone, controlling someone else's life, but that's not what this is about, right? Then I guess you would become the host if you imprisoned me. It's like hecklers at a comedy show. And I think this is also it's a way for people to vent. People see this as a place where they can really feel seen in a deep way and feel connection in a deep way. So they want to vent in that environment. Which I'm supposed to just let them do, but it gets difficult. Right, and so Lesser Goblin, once again, it might be wrong for you, but it's not necessarily wrong for other people here. So it's not absolutely wrong, nor is it absolutely right. What's right for one person might not be right for the other person. It's not that complicated. It's not that ridiculous. Like there's a ridiculous of me saying that what someone said is just their opinion. Like someone sharing their opinion is just their opinion. And then someone says like, oh, who would ever believe that? Well, I don't know. It's just reasonable, isn't it? He's still making the joke about the phone. Okay, here.
There's my okay.
And I think it's just an aspect of us not growing up in community or having tribes or anything like that anymore. So there's not any like common sense about actually being with someone and being seen by someone. and someone communicating to you, setting their boundaries and all that kind of stuff when you're at like their place. So it just doesn't connect because we're so disconnected from actually being with other people. And then people start laughing at that and saying, that's ridiculous. When I thought it was common sense, I thought that's what all the old people and all the, people that are against the woke mafia say, that like we're more disconnected than ever, so it's almost like we're trying to keep justifying the way for our ego to be the same way that it's been up to now in someone else's house, in someone else's environment, in a relationship that we don't have to be a part of. Like I have to be in relationship with my life. I have to be in a relationship with myself. You don't have to be in relationship with me. I have to be here in my live stream going on right now. You don't have to be here. And then everybody says, what's going on? How could you ever say that? And it's just ridiculous. Total nonsense. This is a nice guy. For you. No. For you. Special, for you. Yeah, it's good. Special one. No, for you. And that's the thing, right? It's like, okay, you disagree with me and you're in the right and I'm in the wrong and you're here to take a stand about it. Okay, so we can you can take a stand about it, but instead of, when you say that, they just keep spamming and keep acting ridiculous or whatever. So it's like, what are you to do? Just looking for attention, just trying to get a reaction, just trying to fight against something that's not your business to fight with. So doesn't connect with me. Doesn't make sense to me. Instead of tearing other people down, we should try to lift ourselves up and then help other people be lifted up by our lifting up. Try to be able to communicate in common speak, show respect to another person being a human being. Be realistic about our choice to be somewhere that we don't have to be. When someone's hosting that, you know what I mean? I'm hosting this. No, for you. Yeah, I think he's just being friendly. I'm not sure. I think he's like a kind of a crazy uncle kind of guy, or a fun grandpa kind of guy. His clothes look clean. People are different. That's the other thing, is that everybody isn't a cookie cutter TikTok influencer or Instagram influencer or like a right-wing Trump supporter or like a Democrat liberal or something. Not everybody fits into like normal modes that we find on YouTube or TikTok or in the media. Not everybody is easily there. Not everybody's ego is easily digestible and understandable for us. Period. It's like people want to put this guy into a box, but you probably can't put this guy into the box because this guy's experiences are outside of the box of your experiences. So you actually have to just spend time and absorb and share and be human. He's showing me the phone, he's pointing to his ear. There we go. And the other annoying thing is that I'm not saying I'm a troll, but I like troll stuff. I like funny stuff. I appreciate making people uncomfortable to show them that them being uncomfortable isn't a reason for them to be right. Like, I know about all that stuff. A lot of the content creators that I, watch or stuff like that or do things in that line. So I'm not saying that's what I'm primarily trying to do here. But then, like, trying to put me into this box of I'm some postal worker that's uncomfortable because you're showing up filming yourself in a butterfly outfit is just ridiculous. Or like I'm a mean person, or I'm an irreverent person, or I don't take things seriously, or I don't value other human beings' lives, or I'm not a kind person, I'm not a compassionate person, I'm not a serious person. I'm, like I'm basically a criminal on the run. And actually, I've been very dedicated to building and being in community for many years. So I'm not running from myself, I'm running towards myself. Trying to do that sloppily. Yeah, I like him too. I wish we had a meditation center here where I could invite him to come and sit down and whatever he wants to do, get some food or have a shower or whatever. But I don't think he's homeless. I think he's just hanging out. He definitely does have more hair than me. So it's what I always tell young people, because I've worked with so many young people, especially young men online. I say, okay, there's nothing wrong with playing. There's nothing wrong with making fun. There's nothing wrong with being ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with being kind of irreverent and just like totally, I'm just here to play, I'm just here to fuck around. But it's when you can't do that without going into this like deep toxicity that you poison your mind. It's an expression of a poisoned, dark, ugly, disgusting, vile mind that you're perpetuating inside of yourself. Like, I can't be here and play and make jokes and be funny and like turn everything on its head unless I'm toxic. That's not a good way to go about things, because that alignment that you have with toxicity, it's something that you're propping up in your own mind. There's young men, there's young women, there's old men, there's old women, there's people that are my age, there are people that are younger than me. Children need good teachers, young men need good role models. What are we talking about here? Okay, if I'm being toxic, that's my problem. If you're being toxic, that's your problem. So I'll worry about if I'm growing my channel or not, or if I'm making money or not, or if I'm doing good in my life or not. You worry about if you're doing good in your life or not. We don't accept accountability from anonymous random people that have a problem with us. That's not what accountability is. Accountability belongs to the members of our community, our tribe. Okay? So if somebody comes from another tribe that nobody knows, especially the tribal leader or the owner of the land, let's say, knows, then you just kill those people. You're not being held accountable by random people on the street or random people that show up and start following you around. That doesn't make any sense. That's not what accountability is. Yeah, but it does, Frank, but it's difficult to not let that happen. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing. Somebody shows up in your life, you have no idea who they are, so they're like an anonymous overseer, and they say, we're going to hold you accountable. I'm here to hold you accountable. Why aren't you being held accountable by me, the anonymous person? I don't know, because anonymous people are not representatives of accountability. Accountability is based in the community. It's based on people who have consenting relationships with each other. And as I've said multiple times, if someone wants to hold me accountable, that's great, but you're going to have to actually show up and be a human being and not just be completely ridiculous and intentionally disingenuous or intentionally stupid. You know, we have to have a degree of respect for one another to communicate with each other. You want to hold somebody accountable, you have to hear their side of things as well. Okay. Come on. Okay. Ayina fuck. See you next time. My friend. Okay. Tambiet. Tambiet. Okay. He's making the joke about the phone again. Maybe what if he has like a ultra short-term memory? There you go. Maybe that's a way to put his ego into a box.
Tambiet.
Tambiet.
Okay.
Tambiet. Tambiet.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I think another big element is like it's like the social justice warrior thing, right? We're trying to like police other groups of people, or we're trying to police people in general according to our like identity values of what's right and wrong and what's acceptable and what's not. And they blamed that so much on the liberals, but now the conservatives, the people on the right, do it as well. Your identity is not allowed. You are not allowed to hold that view. Says who? I don't know. He go. You know that man? He nice man. He not smell. No, not have bad smell. Okay. Get away from me. Okay. Bye bye. It's like somebody comes up to you to ask a question. Who's asking? Who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you approaching my body? Why are you approaching my mind? And then you asking like a barrier question, or like asking that person what they're doing there, they now like take that as now you're interested in them. When actually you're saying, who are you and what are you doing here? And then somehow that question isn't allowed. So me asking someone who they are and what they're doing here is not allowed. But them just doing whatever they want constantly in this kind of parasocial relationship with me is fully okay. But I'm not allowed to ask, okay, well, who are you and what are you doing here? So it doesn't quite line up to me. All right, well, ask everybody. Who are you? And what are you doing here? Let's see if it's allowed or not. Okay. It's like, why is someone not allowed to fit into your understanding? Why is someone not allowed to be not understandable easily by you? Why is something not allowed to be not easily understandable to you? Cool. Yeah. I think it's, yeah, so silly, like people are entitled to know what's going on. And I don't think that's directly about you, Afti and Watkins. We just get a lot of people around here that are very entitled. I think it's nice to not know what's going on. For it to basically be impossible to know what's going on. Why you order that?
I think that they're very but I think this
Get the strawberry, matcha, sweet. Oh, you want to feel the caffeine. Oh, it's a luxury to not know, yeah. And I tell these people so many times, I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody. Let me know who you are, what you're doing, what you think. We can have a conversation about it. But I feel that people have become so disconnected from human conversations and have become so indoctrinated by mainstream media, the news cycle, and identity politics that it's too big of an ask for people, you know? And if you want to be here and spam and say weird things and act insane, I think it's quite generous of me to say, okay, well, whoever you are, I'm happy to speak with you. You can tell me what's going on, what your situation is. And then I'm somehow supposed to be a manipulative, evil, schizophrenic monster because I'm saying that. Like that's supposed to be completely unreasonable when it's like people have this idea that they've they've judged a particular identity to be unacceptable, and now that identity needs to be imprisoned, tortured, punished, humiliated, stopped at all costs. And I think it's the self other dynamic, right? Because I am other. I'm not there's not that many former Buddhist monks that are live streaming on YouTube, period. Let alone all the wacky and crazy things that I do. And then that's supposed to be totally fake and totally, I'm just trying to trick people and manipulate people while just speaking a totally normal fact. It's making me sick in the head dealing with this whole dynamic and trying to find the answer to it. But of course, the real answer is mindfulness and detachment. Hello? Okay, honey, maybe you want to sing a song for everybody or talk them your life?
No. Just here.
Please be nice to my wife, everyone.
Everybody. Dr. Love, you to toilet. I like the old woman, and Papa, Mama. No, just a playbook. But this is the same memory how long year ago. This Papa, Mama long year ago. But very good and very skilled. So I like that. Hi, thank you so much. Don't love me. Just love yourself. It's good. Thank you. Ooh. It's good. That's good. Oh, thank you. I'm not a beauty. Mm, yes, not only me lazy, somebody very lazy, right? We are is very lazy. Hmm? Oh, hmm. I not have skill in the like YouTube, so I don't. I cannot lie. See, doctor don't have skill, I not have skill that, so I'm not like the YouTube thing. I very shy when I talk to people or something like that. So if I cooking, I don't know how I don't know what I talk. So I'm not liking the YouTube. Because I just sometimes I do anything I want, so I cannot show. So it's very natural. So this is YouTube. Somebody very like how about the show and nice. So I don't do that. I cannot do that. So I don't. I'm not liking the YouTube. Because my life, this is not the show, not the show this, so no, I not do that. Dr. Rock taught me try words, I very shy. Because sometimes in the YouTube, somebody very racy. So I just a little scary. Ah, Dr. Rock, come here. I cannot talk anything. And now Dr. Rock's watching. Dr. Rock. But I think in the future I try liking the YouTube. Sally, you can come and teaching me. So I will try think that. Okay. I like cooking. Maybe. Not sure. But I like that. Okay, I try. Thank you. I want to you love yourself. Dr. Rock,
It's like a virus that I want to solve. It's not like I want to get rid of these people. That comes up in the ego, right? You want to get rid of the nonsense and negativity and things like that. But actually, I want to solve that problem. You know, I want to be able to communicate with those people and develop mutual understanding. That's very important to me. All about honey?
yeah. Oh.
Oh, I was looking for these things, but these things were there. And this is what I do. This is my passion. This is what I love. So
And now this is one of the things I want to ask my teacher. And really the option is either to detach or to put up the windows and drive away. You know, keep doing good deeds. But what about when you can't drive away? Just detach, right? Wow, Schmedford, that's wild. Well, if you go to Google Maps and you put in Buddhist temple near you, um, maybe you can visit Thailand in America, in your country. There are a lot of Thailand Buddhist temples around there. Yeah, try to go. Try to wake up early and go. He moved for us. He helped us to move. Is there a method to the madness? Not really. The method is not wanting to suffer and knowing that the suffering is coming from within and that one needs to go within to deal with that, to understand that suffering. It's not about anything outside. Hi. Because I haven't really seen anything like this. I'm not aware of anything like this taking place. And then you put yourself out there and you do this, and then the loudest people in the room seem to be the people that want to harm you. And, you know, that's difficult to deal with psychologically. So more emotionally and psychologically. Knowing how much people dare to and are open to harming others, you know? How dark people's minds can be without their knowing. If you know that your mind's dark, it's not that much of a problem. Because you can control yourself. You can let go of certain things. when it makes sense to let go of them. But when you don't know the darkness of your own mind, you're compulsively acting out in ways that are harmful and come from a wish to harm others. And even though we may have those kind of thoughts in our psychology, that's one thing. And it's mainly we harm ourselves. We don't take good care of ourselves. But when we go out of our way to harm others, that's really, it's an ugly thing to do. It's good to say, if you don't, if you don't like it, leave. Yeah, that's true, but I can't leave my own house. I can't leave my own body. I can't leave my own mind. I can't leave my own life. So that doesn't so much apply to me. And I think that's important. And isn't that what the conservatives say? Isn't that what the Republican, the Trump supporters say? If you don't like it, leave. So I don't know why it's not, not okay for me to say that. Thank you, Shelley. And then people coming in and policing interactions between others. Isn't that what we fought against wokeism and the social justice movement for? You don't police the way that people act with each other in their own house, in their own home, in their own community. It's none of your business. And it's impossible. I'm glad that you feel happy, Hayden. If you work really hard and sacrifice your life, sacrifice everything in your life, then yes. If you don't do that, then not in this lifetime. But in the Buddhism, we're doing things that we can do in this lifetime, in this moment, to support us in later lifetimes, later moments, to be closer and closer to enlightenment. On the relative side, the time-based side, the many lifetime side. In the side of absolute truth, here and now, no thoughts, no emotions is Buddhahood. Freedom from suffering is enlightenment. So if you're free from suffering, well then you must be enlightened. I don't really believe in anything outside of thoughts about myself. Certain thoughts about myself I believe in. But other than that, and I guess certain thoughts about other people. But other than that, I don't really believe in anything. We can't just
minimize things because they're outside of our purview, they're outside of our understanding. Outside of our understanding doesn't mean higher or lower, it doesn't mean better or worse, it doesn't mean superior or inferior. So it's like a car mechanic or somebody talking about how to work on an Audi A8 engine that has a malfunctioning coupler. You know, that is what it is. Some people have experience and know about that, you can talk about it in different ways. Some people don't. Even if you revere car engines and men working on engines, mechanics, you don't lift up mechanicatry or the person who knows about that kind of stuff to be holy, you know, the mechanic archetype. So it's more like looking at what you want to give now more clearly, more closely. What do you want to share? You know, and the deeper place that sharing comes from, or that clarity about your want in what you're doing right now is, and it's more practical, it tends to be more practical. But we minimize things that we don't have any experience with is just insane. It's like minimizing Buddhism because you don't have much experience with Buddhism, and then being offended when someone says you don't really know anything about Buddhism, so it doesn't make sense for you to minimize it. And then their ego is attacked, as if we're supposed to know about everything. Well, maybe you should try, Duff. Pay a little bit more attention, not to the chat, but to the person who's live streaming here. Backpack? Dreams are just like echoes of sights, sounds, smells, tastes, touch, thoughts, experiences. Just like echoes. Because the compulsion of seeking is still going on even as you go to sleep. So you're building these worlds of subject and object in which seeking can take place. Yeah, dreams are dreams. That's a better answer than I had. Oh, this says it can work as a webcam. Hmm? Well, we're gonna see.
Yesterday?
Yeah, we'll take a look at yesterday.
Maybe our children.
7 gigabytes. Let's see. Move to SD card. Download. Made the movie yesterday of the temple tour on using this. So we're gonna take a little preview of it. Honey, the last thing I want to drink is that watered down latte.
She's a my lucky.
The juice is in a lucid life. That's not just about ourselves. That's where the juice is. We follow this teacher here in our community named Master Yong Hua. And he's a Vietnamese American guy, more American than Vietnamese, a monk. He's been a monk for many years and leads a big sangha, a big community. And he's in Korea right now, and he was doing his session in this, really nice South Korean meditation center. And somebody, raised their hand, they want to share their experience. And so this Chinese man had gotten cancer, and his 2 kids, well, his daughter or his son, anyways, they wanted the master to help with this guy's cancer. So the master basically told them to buy these 2 plaques for rebirth and helping with cancer or whatever. And then they had this consultation. The next night, the wife of the man who has cancer, very serious cancer, she has a dream of her husband standing up in the room and 2 spiders crawling out of his mouth, crawling out of his throat. This is where the 2 lumps of cancer were. And then they had to take him to America to get this surgery. So they called up their friend who's a Canadian that's a Chinese translator, because all the medical documents were in Chinese. And they call him up and he says, "Hey, I know why you're calling. I'll do it." And he tells them that yesterday and this morning he was receiving messages from God saying some people will call you soon for your help. You need to help them. And then, the cancer apparently was cured. And the guy, health recuperated very quickly. So I believe in that kind of stuff. And when I was watching that, I was saying, wow, I wish I was that potent. I wish I could be that skillful. Yeah, you got to watch it. Incredible story. So the idea is basically that the power of the master and the master's relationship with bodhisattvas or great beings, etc., kind of so deep and so strong that him performing that, connection ritual between them and their need and their want for help, he was able to, all this stuff started happening to bring that about. I do believe that. I find that in Vietnam, and especially in Vietnam, but Asian countries in general, there's more perceptivity to the mind rather than just the physical outward appearance. So like in America, I don't feel like we really look at each other's minds. We just see how someone looks outwardly. Are they attractive? Do they look wealthy? Do they look important? Those kinds of things. But we don't really kind of look into the mind of other people. I think it's a part of us being so like individualistic and separated in that way. And I like that. I appreciate that because I'm comfortable with my mind as a training ground for compassion and kindness and depth and sincerity and openness. I'm proud of how my deeper mind looks, not necessarily proud of my outward appearance or how I may seem. Let's see this. We got our first ever temple tour video preview here. Oh, it looks great. Looks real good. Looks real. But why is it starting there? Cotton tree. About this. About watching this. That's a lot better than phone quality. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I took 2 recordings instead of 1. Yeah, that's right. Well, we're going to put that together when we get back home. But yeah, I think that'll be useful. I was a little bit nervous about it, but that definitely does look, that's a significantly higher quality.
Is it the temple? Have to go very high.
We're going to have
This
this.
is a famous temple that went viral recently for denying a Western traveler on foot
But actually, it's not that temple.
to stay for.
So. All right. Well, we've had a good run of it today, everybody. No. I'm not going. I haven't been going anywhere with Shiva. When Shiva was here and we visited that temple, that was a different place. I don't know. Maybe when I need money, I'll go and stream with Shiva. I don't think anybody fits the description that someone else can give them. I don't think we can even fit a description that we give ourselves. An outsider questions Buddha. An outsider questioned Buddha in these terms: I do not ask about the spoken. I do not ask about the unspoken. The Buddha just sat there. The outsider said in praise, World-honored one, you are very kind, very compassionate, opening up the clouds of my confusion. You have enabled me to attain penetration. Then he paid respects and left. Ananda subsequently asked Buddha, what did the outsider realize that he uttered this praise and left? Buddha said, like a good horse, he goes as soon as he sees the mere shadow of the whip. Wu Men says, Ananda was a disciple of Buddha. Ananda was a disciple of Buddha, but even so, he did not match the outsider's insight. Now tell me, how far apart are an outsider and a disciple of Buddha? Wu Men's verse, walking on a sword blade, running on an ice edge, without going through any steps, he lets go over a cliff. Life is so horrible. Zen Master Bai Yun's verse, 10,000 fathoms deep. The cold pool is clear to the very bottom. A brocade carp in the still of the night travels toward the light. With a tug of the pole, it comes up, following the hook. On the surface of the water, indistinct, the light of the moon is scattered. Well, who the hell knows what that means? Interesting. Okay. I think if life wasn't so horrible, Ajahn Brahm would probably have new stories to tell and new jokes to say. All right, everybody, we're on the move. It's time to go. Time to go make that moolah. There's a new bathtub waiting for me on the other side of the unknown. It's over every single second and every single minute. But it's a long drive to get home, and I've been feeling really tired lately. And my appetite has been reduced. And I've been getting a lot of sun. So we didn't go back today. We decided to get a hotel. Because, I mean, you know, what am I doing? I'm gonna spend $100 a night for a nice place when I've got a nice place already? But that's one of the problems as well, right? We don't realize how much we're suffering. If we realized how much we were suffering, if we realized how much suffering there was, we'd probably go crazy. The suffering in the world, the suffering inside of ourselves that we're constantly trying to avoid and distract ourselves from. If we really just had to sit there and face our mind, we would probably literally go crazy. When I say face our mind, I'm not talking in colloquial terms or like vague terms of going on a spirit journey. I'm talking about just sitting there and facing yourself and just being with yourself, staring at the wall and not moving. Okay? Every day is a bad day, but if you meditate more, Dr. Rob, then it'll be even funnier when you say that. I came up with that saying at the first meditation center I lived at, the first Zen meditation center I lived at. Because there's some teaching that says, every day is a good day. I said, well, if every day is a good day, then the reverse should apply as well. Just like there's a Korean Zen master that says, the whole world is a single flower. And then there's a Theravada master who says the whole world is a fucking stinking pile of shit. So good luck and goodbye, everybody. See you on the other side. I hope we all survive. And
Thank you again for the bike. Hung, you should have seen Hung this morning because we went to like a thrift shop. That's where you see I got some new clothes, and Hung got these new clothes, and so she put this on for the first time this morning, and she put it on. She was looking at the mirror, and she was just sitting there and laughing herself over for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just laughing at herself because it's kind of, what does that mean? Is a unusual fashion, new fashion for her. So bye everybody. Happiness might be just around the corner if you can eat more shit of your shitty mind and shitty life experience in the here and now. The Buddha said, don't take it from me, the Buddha said life is suffering. So if you want to live,
Bye bye.
bye bye.